Hello and welcome. You guys are killing me in the comments, bro. Welcome in, chat. It's great to see you. I'm Professor Bohdi, aka Mr. Bonny John, aka David Boy. David Boy is the brand. Probably the last time I'm really gonna use Professor Bohdi, I think, which is kind of surreal. So I put on a little something for you guys, you know. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Chill Bill, Zach. Chainser is here, Nui is here, Oni Boy's here, Gym Leader JC, Armand is here, Pastu is here. I think I got everyone. Hello, Rykar. Guys, it's crazy. I know you guys are gonna make me really sad. Like today's supposed to be a fun day. A sad slash fun day to thank you. I appreciate it. You know, maybe I should have done it like Friday, but you know what? At the same time, it's the start of a new week. I genuinely hope, you know, we kind of use the energy of today to have a productive week, a productive month, a productive life, you know? So the end of the Bonicles. Damn it, Chill! You could have told me that sooner. I would have been using the Chronicle of Bonicle. Chronicle. I would have. That's pretty cool. It's gonna suck. No, that's not true. That's not true. Guys, so I don't really have a sort of format. I don't think. For today's video, it's kind of like an off variety kind of stream kind of video. The way I see it is I kind of want to celebrate with you guys all the art and the work I've made for the channel. I'll talk about the past of the channel. I'll talk about the future of the channel, of the brand, so to speak. And as you can see here, I've actually, well, you can't see, I've got a whole bunch of tabs loaded up. I think what I want to do is we'll watch select videos, some of them in its entirety, others will kind of scrub through. You guys can kind of tell me like, oh, Bonnie, I want to see this part or whatever it is. If you have any, yeah, what's up, Cat? Welcome in. Yet another one of our mods, a fellow Floridian as well. But yeah, there is a new direction coming up. I think I showed you guys the lavalier mic I bought. It's in this bag. There's those tiny little mics. And so I bought a new ring light. I'll be recording new videos. And I don't know why I did new like this. Finish 5 Friends at Freddy's once. I might. But I'll be making that show your video about redesigning Sonic the Hedgehog characters. Those have been unlisted. And actually, speaking of what I will be doing, much of this content that I have here, don't freak out, will be exactly, Cat. Don't worry, we're good. And listen, for everyone else, we're all, you know, gonna hang out in the Discord and whatnot. You guys will watch my, you know, my new story unfolding with the Master of Fine Arts that I'm pursuing. Classes start in a couple of weeks. I have orientation coming up. I'll be posting more on my Instagram and whatnot. And like I said, I'll be making a you know, new set of videos based on this new artistic journey that I think feel a little more, not a little more, that feel entirely more aligned to where I'm at as an artist today. And I'll talk about this in that kind of first video, which is kind of a an intro slash like outro, like an outro for this past era and then an intro to the new era. And I've talked about the concept of these videos and how I want to kind of use it as almost like a development vlog for myself. You know, maybe not so much projects that I want to work on. You're still with me because we're on the same planet? Fair. Welcome in, Destroyer, and hello to whoever else I've missed, if anyone's come in. That's been today's stream chat. Be sure to hit that button, ring that button, share. Still having monthly art prompts. Yes, and I will say I want to do art prompts in the Discord that kind of evolve past just Pokemon and Fakemon. And I, you know, understand that's how this community kind of built itself around. But there's been plenty of those kind of spaces between other Discords that fulfill something similar as far as that niche. I think with me moving towards, my masters and, going into fine arts, going back in, I should say, my first ever associate's degree was in fine arts and painting. Um, I want everyone to kind of explore their palette a little bit as well, right? Um, but yeah, even with Biba, I'm not sure if I'll even post that on the community post because I'm going to like after this really kind of do a bit of a hard reset on the channel. Let's clone Bonnie. Let's not. Gonna miss chatting your art streams. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. I'm gonna miss all of you guys too. But like I said, it doesn't have to be a sad thing. It doesn't have to be like an end. What's up, Jay? Another one of our mods here. Hello, hello. Appreciate you. Appreciate you so much. The Bonnie bunch is so cute. You guys are coming up with cute names on the last day. But what I will be doing, and I chatted with a few, well, one main friend slash content creator, which, I dislike that term, more so content I dislike. But what I'll probably be doing is unlisting these videos, and now before you bring pitchforks, um, I will be having them in a playlist. So all you have to do is come to this profile, and all the videos will be there. Going all the way back, and just to kind of, again, before you guys crucify me and Bonnie, what are these new videos? Where are the Pokemon? Where's Mew 4? Where's Pikachu? Pikachu Z or whoever else. Like you can see over here, 12 years ago, I posted this art. And this Super Smash Brothers one, and there's a Pokemon one, a Star Wars one. That's where that whole See Bonnie Draw thing came from. This intro right here comes from an era a long time ago, and I kind of updated that a little bit for the new era that I started, like, as you can see, only 2 years ago, with the Dungeons and Dragons Pokemon crossover stuff that I made. And so this, to me, this closing off this chapter is kind of like, all right, I had a chapter 1, a chapter 2, and now there's like a chapter 3 coming on. There's no pitchfork. Hello, Scribabbles. Can't stay for too long. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm very excited. I would love to see some color theory and design theory contests. That would be really cool. And listen, I always open it up in the Discord channel. Feel free to like pitch ideas you have for community prompts and whatnot. And moving forward, if it's not so much sharing it with like a YouTube audience, I still want you guys to create the best works you can and challenge yourselves, right? I think what kind of got me to over here is that in recent memory, I just never challenged myself enough. In fact, I think I let fear dictate a lot of how I would move as far as being a human being, right? With my friendships and romances and career, my creative, movement has been stagnating because I've lived in fear a lot. And, I was like recently thinking, despite, you guys know I'm hyper optimistic, we'll be seeing finally. What's up, Saga? What's up? No worries, no worries. I appreciate it. Welcome in. But yeah, I would say that for that brief moment, I doubted myself, saying like, am I ready to go into this MFA? I'm scared. I don't know if I'll create the best work. It's a lot of work. And I kept going down a list of excuses. And then I realized, no, if you're scared, that's probably the right thing to do. Because if we take it into a video game analogy with Fog of War, the map you haven't explored yet, the coolest upgrades haven't been found yet. The coolest items, the gear, right? The best view. So I'm like, all right, a little bit of Fog of War coming up as far as art and all that. That should make me more excited, and now I am. Bonnie Jover, it's true, Deebs, it's true. Time passes by. My previous username was Kid Flash. Oh my god, Chainser, why are you telling me that only now? I didn't realize. Welcome back. But yeah, so it's bittersweet in the best way, and I want you guys to remember that moving forward, right? A lot of these big changes are scary, and they're meant to be scary. There is nothing behind you. There's nothing waiting for you behind. So there's no point looking back anymore. I'll always be grateful, right? And that will influence the way I take my steps forward. no more half measures, no more hesitation, you know? Bonnie, not sure you know what eagles do once they grow older. I presume they go to the nearest Ford F-150 and drape an American flag over it and start driving it over like a cliff into freedom. But okay, so I can keep yapping like this and all that. Like I said, um I have pulled up some videos for us to watch. I think the format is we're gonna watch all this content. We can talk about whatever you want. If you have any questions about the videos, about me, about the future of the channel, even the past, if you got ideas about topics you want to see me cover in these new self-help slash creative artist journey videos, please do not hesitate to ask. Um, I'm gonna ask you guys one question. What were you watching? Well, uh, Mr. True Green John. No, I actually got to chat with Ron today. He was asking what's going on in a little bit, and we talked about, yeah, what feels right. Um, really bad onions in your eyes. We need to fish those out, Justin. So, I kind of want to show you guys 9 years ago, 17K, like, it's a terrible April rain. And you guys can see the old intro, and even this intro was like a modified intro. I had like another intro for the See Bonnie Draw channel. They break and rip out their claws to grow out new and oh my god. I actually messed up my beard a little bit, so I kind of like brought it in, and so the mustache is a little more. It has a little bit more of a pop, but I think it's kind of a look. So I'm waiting for the beard to grow back. Let's see if you guys can hear this. So back in the day, like again, 10, 11, 12 years ago, the channel was, what's up, Crusader? Welcome in. The Tom Selleck. I know I can't. That guy is too legendary. That mustache is too much. In the best way. I was just doing these speed paints, and that was kind of a thing at the time, and I wanted to put my own spin on it. It gave me the opportunity to just practice the craft, right? In that digital space, and I'd edit through Windows Movie Maker. That's what I had at the time. And then I'd like put music, I'd cut and splice, and it was painful. But that's what I wanted to do, you know? And that's what I did, right? Even though like this current era is where I've gotten the most amount of traction and subscribers, and it's because I found a niche that I was passionate about, right, in the beginning. Whereas with this one, the Indian Uncle, that's so true. Um, when I look at what I was doing with the See Bonnie Draw speed paints, sometimes when I was lazier, it would just be like music. But then other times I'd sit down and I'd write for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes, depending on the video. Um, I'd write narration that I recorded and edited, and I would talk about the creative process. And as far as like the content, it was like mostly me recreating. Like I'd see a photo of official art, or a photo of the actor in a movie. Like I would choose pop culture subjects and topics that I was into. So for example, when Star Trek came out, I drew Chris Pine. A lot of these topic matters, the way I had kind of looked at art at the time, especially with YouTube, I was more in that content creator mind space back in the day. Um, Chasing algorithms and, oh, this is what's popular this week. I'd better draw the thing. And I was like trying to get ahead of it. And after a while, just kind of like what happened with this era, I was like, this ain't it. Like, once again, I'm chasing art that I think people want to see and not necessarily art that I want to do. Like, I think for a while I found a middle ground, right? I'm going to play this in the background while I talk. And so this is one of my most popular pieces. It was a poster that, I was selling at cons and whatnot. I did this for the 20th anniversary. And if you guys recall, like in December, I was trying to redo this, and I don't know if I will anymore. I might. But this was such a great undertaking, and I recorded myself. This was the kind of content I was making back then, where just put the process, edit up a little bit, um, and it was fine. That that channel didn't really go anywhere per se, you know. Um, and I found that letting it sit there is how I curated a channel with almost like 2,000 subscribers. Um, oh my god, I think that's true. Deebs, that's true. I think I can talk about this now. I think I briefly did. I reached out to, and I was like in my head, Ron is really great at this. You know, whenever he gets all these artists together, he thinks about like a bunch of these people and how they'll work together for comedic value, artistic value, overall vibes, right? After I had done my first collab on my channel, actually my second one technically, with Ron, Virgo, Jack, and um, I was like, that was really successful. It's almost at 150K. Um, and I need to do a part two. So I reached out to a new group, and this is like peak. The group was me, Cuppa, Harry Gold, and Deebs. And if those four were to ever be in a video together, I think people would shit and piss themselves crying of laughter. And unfortunately, me being the dingus I was, um, I would um, I would realize that like we are all over the world. Like Cuppa's in the UK, Harry's in Aussie, Deebs is now in Canada, and I'm here, and everybody's time schedule couldn't work out. But hello, Doof. I'm stopping my streams. I haven't made, and for anyone who's like, Bonnie, the videos, blah blah. I haven't made a Pokemon video since last October. To be fair, granted, a lot of the streams is where I got a lot of our Pokemon centric content that we all enjoyed out. So, I don't think me taking this retirement or like quitting YouTube. Again, I'm not quitting YouTube per se. I'll be using this channel for a new set of creative art videos moving forward. And that's going to be jarring for some people. But also at the same time, it shouldn't be, because again, the last video I made was like in October. And yeah, my videos never really did too well. And yeah, that can be a bummer. I'm not going to whine about it. I'm not going to cry about it. But, it is what it is. And ultimately what YouTube is, and a great friend of mine told me this, Mr. Bayan, Mr. Worldwide. I'm proud of myself. I spent most of the afternoon drawing without procrastination. I'm proud of you too, Zach. Dale. I had found that when it comes to making art and content, even with See Bonnie Draw, right? I was like, Star Trek, Marvel, Star Wars, Pokemon, Nintendo. I was hitting like a new flavor of the week under the notion that like, oh, it's pop culture. Like that resonates with everybody. But if you're aiming for everybody, you're not going to get anyone. That's what niches and demographics are, right? And so when I came back to YouTube, I always saw your channel as an art channel, not Pokemon. I mean, that is awesome. I do appreciate the sentiment. What's crazy is, as the owner and operator of the channel, I do see myself as a Pokemon channel. Even though I never intrinsically outwardly said it, like it's kind of clear that's been the backbone. So there you go. That was like a See Bonnie Draw style kind of video. Here's another one of my most popular ones from back. Oh, here's the old intro. And my friend, shout outs to my friend Muntasir D. Khan. He had done that riff for me on guitar. This is so stupid. And I'm doing like narration and stuff. And yeah, like you can kind of see how like my Windows Movie Maker vibe was back then. Recording time, I do all this kind of stuff, and ultimately with the Pokemon content naturally focusing um on a niche really helped me develop an audience, you know, because people would come and they know what they're getting, right? Something like the See Bonnie Draw art channel is just a little too open and vague. Um, so I found like when it comes to this YouTube shit, you know, when YouTube was a thing, people were just making stuff because they wanted to be seen, right? Once monetization comes in, royalty free background music dot wave. The animation for your pal right into this is so stupid. This is body prehistory. Yeah, this is true. This is true. Pivoting content and effort is make what you're passionate about is key. Those who leave enjoy the content. Absolutely, Crusader. That's exactly right. Ashika, the title scared me, so I figured I might as well join and see what your plans are for the future. So just to catch everyone else who's coming in, I'm starting my master's in fine arts in a couple of weeks. I no longer resonate with the content that I've been making. This doesn't mean I wouldn't show up, you know, for, you know, my colleagues in this space if they invite me to do collabs and whatnot. Granted, if I have the time. Um, Again, I haven't made Pokemon videos on my channel for a long time. It's been almost a year. So I've been doing like the streams, which have to some degree kind of been like variety, right? Um, but yeah, when I think about the Pokemon side of things, right? Discord, of course, will be up. I would never nuke that. That's a home for everyone, you know, artists or otherwise. Um, but yeah, when I look at what I did for the See Bonnie Draw channel, it was necessary at that time. That's what I wanted to do. I had to learn that I didn't want to do it by doing it. That's just how life is. You know, I got to do the Pokatuber kind of thing. I saw talented people doing it, and I was like, I want in on it. And the moment I decided it, that's when it became a reality, right? I was like, I could do it. And I feel like I did, you know? Isn't fine arts now, of course not. Hope that goes well. Thank you, thank you. Um, and so yeah, speaking of niches and whatnot, when it does come to Pokemon and you know, content in that space, as of course the big reason why I shifted in all this is, um, as you guys know, it I have a degenerative eye disease called retinitis pigmentosa. I talked about it for the first time, like in public, really, in a major way, on my Instagram. Oh, that hand is fucked up. It'll be fixed soon. Um, During February, which was retinitis pigmentosa awareness month. In fact, I'm talking to someone today who was recently diagnosed, and you know, she wanted some advice, and you know, having someone to talk to about this illness, as rare as it is. I think only 100,000 people have it in the states. Um, I was like, yeah, let's talk about it. It'll be as healing for me as it will be for this individual. But it was realizing that I don't have as much time as the layperson to create art, especially if my vision, you know, has an expiration date I don't know about. And if I were to die tomorrow, I wouldn't be content being known as a Poketuber. Um, so I was like, I need to find out what kind of art I can make while I have the ability to still create. And I suspect I'll have my central vision for a long time. I'll be optimistic and, you know, I'm not going to worry about the future. There's no point in catastrophizing. I got to live every day, um, you know, as it were. And that's what spurred all this, you know? And Pokemon content is just not going to do that for me. It's just not going to fulfill me moving forward. And it did for a long time. I enjoyed making the content, but yeah, the moment it became content is when I realized that I need to um, jump out a little bit. Damn, that shit came out clean as hell. Damn, no wonder this one got 22,000. Let's go. So, fun fact, um, because I had a whole bunch of the, this is why if you guys have a dream, just do it. Just do the thing. Of course, I thought, oh, look at that. You can see how far that rendering came from like the Iron Patriot, right? That was like an earlier episode. See Bonny John #3, Tony Stark as Iron Man, and I like really like shitty paint splatter kind of backgrounds and stuff. What the hell is this? Oh, this continued onwards. So yeah, like this new content that I'm making on the channel will still be in the art sphere, right? It's me speaking more to the camera as your big brother, cheering you on your creative journey. And I'll talk about things that really affected me. And I kind of wish I had a big brother to tell me, like, hey, can you just do the thing? Can you just commit? Like, ask the tough questions. And I want to kind of do that, not only because I want to say it, because I think people should hear it if they need to, but use it as almost like a development vlog for the MFA program, and for something for me to look back on and be like, I created that. I was, I put myself out there and spoke with conviction about like something that I love. Um, that to me is more closer to art than content, you know? Um, Mine is just changing direction. True, pivoting, right? Manifesting is real change here. I'll tell you now. I'm out right now. Not a worry, Rec. Thank you for stopping by. Good for you. Thank you, Doof. Old Twitter logo. Just do the thing. Yeah, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. Do the thing. I'll tell you right now. I looked at Ron's videos and Hoop and Hip Hop and Loxton, Jack, of course, from Subjectively. Hello, Dot. Welcome in, welcome in. And I saw them, and I was like, I can do this better. uh, I I said that because I believed it, and I said that because I couldn't wait to meet them. Because if I got as good as them, I could collaborate with them and make them my friends. And I fucking did that because I believed in myself. And the only reason why I got this opportunity, and this is why divine timing is real. You don't ever have to believe like, you don't have free will and that the universe set these things in motion. And, once you hit this thing, it activates the next cutscene. No. What divine timing is that whatever you think you need, work towards it, see if it's actually for you or not, and move to the next thing. Just live authentically. Because I wanted to be a YouTuber and I wanted to try and find an avenue to put myself out there and create my art, and which I did. And even though I'm not entirely proud of it, I'm proud of myself for taking that risk. And because I had all those videos and I let them sit for almost 9-10 years, it got me to where 2,000-ish subs. Around that time when I got into YouTube again, because I had an established channel, because I had practice making videos, and I recorded myself with audio and speed paints and whatnot, I had content on my channel for when Ron, aka Mr. True Green 7 himself, put out on Twitter asking for people to join his series, of which I was watching around that time. I could have been like, you know what? I don't have the skill set. I don't have the videos. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Like, I'm not a PokeTuber. Fuck that. I was like, I'm a YouTuber. And I'm good at making art. I'm good at character design. I'm sure I could design Pokemon. And I designed a Fakemon. And I submitted it. And one of the caveats that he was looking for, and this is for credibility, I don't blame him at all, he was like, you have to have at least 2,000 subs. And I'm like, shit, I've got all this other stuff, right? I created my own Fakemon. I punched it up in a video, so I could show my narration, my, auditory skills. Is that the right way? Like my orator skills. I went to my YouTube channel and I had over 2,000 subs. I had no idea because I had detached from it. Who knows? Maybe I had a couple hundred subs back when I stopped making speed paints 6, 7, 8 years ago. But I detached from it, and because I had a library of work, all those views accumulated to have, I guess, invited enough people to want to subscribe to me. And just like that, the thing that I didn't have was right there, which was 2,000 subscribers. And I manifested working with Ron, and little by little, I got to work with Ron and all these people that I look up to. I met new people like Deebs and Virgo, who I'd never heard of before. And Deebs the other day was like, you know, in the first video you were in, you were working with Moxie and June. And he's like, did you even know who they were? And I'm like, no. And he's like, oh, okay, because if you did, you'd be freaking the fuck out. And that's the cool thing. I was detached from them, so I could just hop into a collaboration, my first ever collaboration, and I'm working with fucking titans. And just so much love to Moxie, June, Ron, Deebs, Virgo, Jack, like everyone. I can't name everybody, but like, because I didn't have that attachment to it, it wasn't as precious. But guess what? I still went into those videos to kill. I was like, I'm gonna have the presentation. I don't have the numbers, but I have the skill. I have the drive, I have the passion, I have the energy. And I proved that. And as a rando, I would look through the comments and they'd be like, yo, this Bonny guy's really cool. Like, I loved his art. I love his passion. I love his presentation. I was bringing something that was uniquely myself to those collaborations. And that's why it's so important to just do the thing. Because I started on my channel, it gave me enough of that platform to leap into the PokeTuber sphere. And now, everything I've gained from here, I must say thank you because I'm jumping into this next sphere. I don't know what it looks like, but I'm excited. And that's what's important, right? Let me catch up with you guys. Hello, Rosa, welcome in. Crusader writes, I can say from personal experience that this new style and video content will be impactful. Not only a good strat for you, but a huge help to your community. Thank you. Feels so weird. It is true, right? Having hope can help. You need hope. Nothing in this world happens without hope. You'll never ever again say, I want to be happy. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to make $1 million. You're going to say, I am a YouTuber. I am a millionaire. I am happy. Reverse engineer and just create those actions that make that statement true. Because if you really wanted it, you will make it true. I promise. Are you friends with Hoops and Hip Hop? I never got the opportunity to really talk to him or get to know him, Arthur, sadly. He seems like a cool dude. His content was among the first stuff that I was binging, and seeing him and Ron not so much didn't have a PNG tuber because he was, you know, brave enough to put his face out. But Jack and a few other people, Loxton had several PNG tuber moments. I looked at those guys for inspiration. I'm like, I want to make a PNG set. And I went through like 2-3 iterations, and then the one we're at now I thought was peak. I love that. I felt like it really looked like me. It resonated with me, with the character that I wanted to become for the videos. And it's been cool because I'll get comments that'll be like, you look just like your avatar. And I was like, all right, cool. I got the accuracy, you know? I think the avatar version's a little more handsome. You're like, I will gain these friends with my own 2 hands, indeed. Really hope this will be on the channel. This is very inspirational. So, Doof, the entire new direction of the channel is just to inspire you guys. I'll be yapping into the camera for about 5 minutes per episode, and I'll talk about things like, the title of the videos will likely be me clocking the shit out of you guys with questions that we don't want to answer. Like, why are you procrastinating? And we'll kind of get down into the nitty gritty. And it's a question I'm asking as much as to the viewer as it is to myself. So that's why I think it'll be helpful for everybody. Luck is preparation meeting opportunity. I love that quote. That's true. You made your own luck. Absolutely. I'm a trillionaire. Please manifest. Hey, make it happen. Why can't it be true? Please, for your honesty, I hope you get back. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Rosa, here's the thing. I know that'll be the case. Okay. So, sorry. I'll go in these kind of tangents, but, you know, this is what it is on the last day. I kind of want to get into watching some videos and whatnot with you, because I don't want to make this drag on for too long. I think we'll call it in maybe an hour and a half. What's up, Dingus? Welcome in, welcome in. So yeah, clock it, absolutely. Absolutely gonna call you out. And here's the thing. This channel, when I say artists, it's not going to be pixel artists, just pixel artists like Joe. It's not gonna be writers like Rosa. It's not gonna be, you know, chefs like Crusader. I'm going to speak to anyone with a creative bone, a little bit of muscle fiber in their body. At the end of the day, the creative spirit is still nurtured by your physical and mental vessel, right? So some episodes are going to be more creatively linked. Others are just going to be straight jugular. Hey, why are you running away from your problems? You know? Okay, so I mean, I guess all that was good because, like I said, I made my own luck. I started YouTube 12, 13 years ago. This is essentially the third era, right? Um, and this second era that we're wrapping up, this video right here, what would Pokemon look like in Dungeons and Dragons Part 1, like, uh, this was the video that I created in conjunction with my first ever collab with Ron. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to be seen on his channel. I'm going to get like some foot traffic for the first time in my channel. I knew that at that time I'd started working on some other content to kind of warm myself up. But this one, I love Dungeons and Dragons. I love Pokemon. We'll kind of scrub through it. And you can kind of see... Hold on, we'll let it go. And I've been waiting for you, traveler. There's a world out there, and I hope you'll allow me to show you what's... I ended up redoing that avatar for the next episode, and he looks a lot cooler. Long, long ago, after the world was first formed, began to find himself the first king. Essentially, I was like, I want to still make content that's unique to myself, because I saw everyone was doing like region videos and this and that. I was like, I can do my own thing. I love telling stories. I love Pokemon. I love D&D. I kind of found my own space here. And while I never got to finish this series because ultimately, and this is just the name of the game, viewership kind of fell like, you know, and it's tough because, you know, it's like 8 episodes in and the views were kind of dwindling. I'm still incredibly proud of the art I made and the story I was telling, the level of detail I put into the audio effects and this and that, even like these templates and, you know, the graphic design. You know, this is the kind of stuff that I felt like I was killing it. Like, because to me, if you spend your time creating awesome art, I think the package you deliver it in should also be as gorgeous, right? So I did this whole D&D kind of thing with the Pokemon 4 set, 4 move set. I made like a character sheet and all this kind of stuff. Even the intermission page where I'm telling people to like, comment, and subscribe and stuff has so much swagissimo to it, if I may say. And yeah, like ultimately, while I never got to finish it, and there was a time where I was like, I'm gonna reboot it, I'm gonna do this and that. I like overshot it. I got way too excited again. And once again, I'd gotten to a point where I'm like, man, I'm putting all this energy writing this story for a Pokemon thing. Why can't I nurture my own story? And that's when like the Zotempo stuff came in, you know? And same thing with like Fakemon preparing me to create my own monster tamer. All that practice nurturing Nintendo's IP and creating Fakemon designs, it still led me to somewhere. So I would never say like it was all a waste, you know? I need at least one more opportunity to bring up Cleokas. Welcome in, or Cloacas, I should say. Welcome in, Alex. You're streaming while at work. You'll have to do a second file shoot so I can partake. Oof, that'll be rough for me. We'll ever see the Bonny special. Absolutely love watching your rids and streams. Thank you, Shell, for saying that's too kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I missed that over. I love these videos. Me too, JC. JC, and we've got like a lot of these, you know, day ones around here, and I'm appreciative no matter when you came in. But this was a special era because I remember streaming around this time and like we'd have like a consistent 4 of us. I've talked about that a few times. And it's in that small consistency where you build confidence, where I'm like, hey, I know these guys are going to show up. I remember streaming, even if it's one person, I would still try and communicate and interact as if I had 1,000 people. And that's how I knew I was like still into it and whatnot, you know? Multi-part video, it's difficult. Yeah, exactly. It's tough. Videos maybe up. Yeah, the memories. Absolutely. Joe was there earlier on too. And yeah, like I think one of my strengths was, you know, trying to go for this very cinematic feel and have this high level of production value. Um, Also, I didn't realize that you know you'd only get the thumbnails 20 seconds in, so I had it way earlier because I wanted it to have like be at 7 minutes. Like I wanted it to be neat, you know. Um, but yeah, this was like another episode. I just wanted to show you. Oh, so here's the updated character model. He looks a lot better. Um, Here, the again, same format and template. Like even like I'm looking at that transition where you have the embers come in, the fire wipes in, session 4 arrival, all that stuff. Like I love, even for this new direction of videos on my channel, creating the outro and intro bumpers has been really fun. That kind of stuff is like my bread and butter, like trying to find that polish. And I was worrying because chat, I've been doing a lot of research where I'm like there'll be like, here's the best way to communicate to the audience, here's the best way to thumbnail and this and that, and I'm like, shit, am I doing the most? Like I'm trying to make this new direction for my channel authentic and simple. And truth be told, I don't want it to feel like I'm making content. Like I want to be able to just sit down, speak to the camera and record. And I was like, I don't want to lose the plot. I just want to like I don't need to be a YouTuber. I just need to be an artist that's recording videos, if that makes sense. And the moment like it becomes too much like a job or work or this or that, I'll kind of reset, pull back a little bit. But I also gave myself a little bit of grace where I was like, you know what, Bon? There's a reason why you're watching all these videos. This design came out so fucking sick. His face is like burned, so you can kind of see the top of the face. He's like bald with the hair coming out. This one I'm so proud of. I love this design. I would essentially say, um, when it came to something like this, where it was all about passion, and I kind of fell off of it. The same thing could happen for this new set of videos, and guess what? I don't got to worry about it now. I'm just gonna worry about making great content, enjoy it, and just recalibrate. And so when I'm doing this research where I'm like, oh, here's the best way to pace your videos. Here's how to speak naturally to the camera. Not, it looks like his brain. It's just kind of like veins and stuff. I realize, wait a second, Bonnie. Stop beating yourself up for giving a shit. Part of your brand is the level of polish, right? Even like, look at, I feel like my UI for streaming is pretty damn cool. I've got like this Game Boy kind of thing. I got the hinge. I care about presentation. I care about how, again, my art is packaged and how it's shipped and delivered. Part of the brand is to give a shit. There's a certain level of detachment where I could just kind of be like, I'm going to record and I don't care about the lighting or the audio and the thumbnail, and I send it out. And like, my art's my art. Whoever gets it, gets it. There's something cool about it, but that's not entirely me. I'm going to like care to some degree. Again, when I lose the plot where I'm like doing the most and I'm like really um making it feel more like a chore and it turns into content, I'll just readdress it, you know? I'm not sure what Pokemon I have inserted into this tale or any D&D tale. I have a lot of favorites. It's tough. I would ask at the end, like, oh, who would you want to be? Who would you want your right hand to be? Who would you want this, that, the other, you know? I was there at the start, but I'm proud to stay to the end. Thank you, guys. Glad I stumbled in. Absolutely. We're so back. We never left. Rights Crusader. You good job. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Nick. Welcome in. Lobotomide. Nice. Bald top part of skull is not even on. That's a whole new level of baldness. It's not cringe to care about your art, and that's definitely a topic I want to go into. Caring's cool anymore. So yeah, that was the Pokemon Cross D&D set. Here are the results of today's session. And you can see Curtis there with his fairy guide. Here's Kieran Leah, Curlia the rival, Mr. Mimey the assassin. And little by little, you could kind of see the team forming If you know, you know the rest. And again, I never got to finish the series. Lucario was the last team member. That was the next episode up. But yeah, it was a really fun era. After this, that's where I was like, I kind of want to um make my own Fakemon. And Scarlet and Violet had started coming out. I decided to make a new intro. It was still the C Bonny Draw moniker. So as we now know, in case you didn't know, C Bonny Draw started like 13 years ago. 12, 13 years ago. So I did this new kind of intro, and I would do another intro. Let's watch this for a little bit. Hopefully you guys can kind of hear. Welcome in, trainers. My name is Bonnie, or you can call me the Professor. My assistant Rotom. You can see.
Hi, Rotom.
Has been sifting through data sent over by. You can see my avatar. This is the older version. It's like a. This is kind of like the pilot version. I would like adjust it a little bit more, and that's the one that you see in the thumbnail for this video. Professor Sada. Last one was Lucario.
Uncover secrets of the past and future.
Here to join. Tell me if this is too loud, okay? Things like this, again, I was so proud of, like the transitions, the wipes. It was similar to like the layout or kind of the templates that other people would do, but like I just put the mustard full send, you know? Even things like that. That's like a quintessential thing I would do. No one's gonna read this, but C Bonny Draw, Dava Boy Productions with the Dava Boy logo. Disclaimer: the art and design created by Bonny John in this video are not at all in any way trying to infringe on copyright attributed to these characters' respective owners. Any official art and assets used in this video is covered under fair use. We know that, but like that's just part of like the level of curation I was putting into these videos to make them feel and stand out as their own thing, right? Like there's gonna be a ton of PokeTuber videos. I want people to be like, wow, he's different. You know? Music. Questions since your channel shifting away from Pokemon and there will be no more. Will you focus somewhat on your we'll see. Like my main focus in the coming weeks is prepping for my MFA and like whatever I'm planning on building out for my thesis, even though I have the whole year for that. I think I want to finish up my character design portfolio. I kind of want to work on Zotempo in and out while I'm doing like my business stuff as well, like the Dava Boy fashion and creative brand and all that, but we'll see. Who's Bonnie's barber in the Pokemon universe? I don't know. You guys tell me. Maybe Scyther? Let's see here. Professor Sada describes this creature as the penultimate paradox Pokemon. What the hell does that mean? Okay, right. Looking at its body and features. Yeah, I can see it. This clearly looks like a Clefable, but
also a Gengar.
Exactly. Looks like whatever this creature's supposed to be. Some sort of middle ground between the two. Now that you've been briefed, trainer, head down into the Great Crater of Paldea and catch us one of these strange little guys. I'm curious as to whether this is a past or present paradox, and if it's one of Clefable or a Gengar.
Paradox of the past. Dubious agent.
Weird. So I would do all this kind of stuff where like, you know, I had all these assets on the side, normal poison. I would like create, when I say create, like in this case, I think I overlapped, I presume, Clefable and Gengar's cries together. Certain Fakemon, I'd come up with my own cries. In this case, this is like, I'm not going to lie, like straight up Among Us. The idea is it's a Clefable body, and then this kind of looks like a astronaut kind of mask or face opening. And so, because they say like Clefable or Gengar's Clefable's shadow, so I kind of leaned into that. And I was like trying to come up with like very creative paradox Pokemon to make, because that was the new thing that was like so popular. So, you know, in addition to, of course, like for the speed painting, this is all very performative. I wouldn't go out of my way to record myself drawing like the initial stages, because my process is very messy, as you guys have seen. So I would go out of my way and spend time sketching. I'm basically like reverse engineering. Like I'd get the final design and then I'd sketch it out, because like the, you know, it's trying to like showcase what's to come. Because whereas with Ron and other people, they're talking about like the creative process, my direction was to like make you guys feel like you were in the Pokemon universe. And that's just, again, yet another way that I can be different and bring people something new, you know? Blue, despite having the rivalry for you. What's up, Seraph? One of our mods here as well. Happy tier there. I see you. Great to smile. I didn't watch a lot of your videos, but I always like how they were full of details, really whole world. That's what I wanted to go for. And I think that's important for any creative project I do. I'm trying to get people to invest themselves and live in the world that I've developed and created. And by the end of the video, you come back to your world, right? Question, when you did this video, was this in relation to guessing what Paradox described? What does that mean exactly? What Paradox described? Polish, absolutely. Gengar and Clefable's clothing, always like the points. I thought you just changed how you sketched. No. I reverse engineered this every single time. There's just so much adjustment that I do. Even like, again, on the 25th hour, I would like add or adjust details, so I could never like be like, just finish a design and be like, it's done. It's just too much, you know? That is all comes in. Hello there, welcome in. Your editing was always so cool to me in your videos alongside the sick designs. Thank you. Just during the stream. I'll be starting an MFA program, Masters in Fine Arts, but thank you so much for the kind words.
Master Present Paradox.
Dubious agent.
Another thing, if you guys noticed, so that's my voice and I ran it through a filter. Toasty would talk a lot less throughout the series because, one, it was like, I made so much work for myself. If I ever had gotten successful with these videos, I would probably have loved to outsource editing so I could create more content, because so much of my time came from editing. I'm writing the narration, I'm putting together the audio, you know, doing the audio mixing. You know, I'd voice act for myself and Toasty. And I liked having Toasty interject because it gave me the opportunity to, again, make the world feel a little bigger. Like you're in on me and my, you know, my trusted sidekicks world. As you know, I kind of thought like you as the viewer was my sidekick. I'd send you into Area Zero, things like that. But it just made the conversations feel more natural to have my, you know, like Toasty come in and say, you know, fill in, like complete the sentences for me, right? Do the Toasty voice. Oh, absolutely not. That's Patreon exclusive. I sound like I go so high pitched like that. And then the filter kind of goes. I can see why your wrist was injured. Yeah, because I would be drawing nonstop. I'd be editing nonstop till like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. You know, it was just too much. I like how this whole design looks like it's circle thing where the whole design seems to fit into one. I mean, you're doing that Clefairy and Gengar. Again, I guess for me, this direction and much of what I did for Paradox was like, I would go out of my way to like be different and kind of like create the designs I wish I got to see. So, you know, I did sound effects. There was this kind of cool thing that's happening here. We have Clefable on the side, my art on the right.
Transformation Clefable many years ago.
We've got a VA doing everything. It's tough.
Oxygen over time, soon
Base stats.
Eventually found Mount Moon.
No one like had this level of production where I'm giving the narration, and I was very proud of this. You know,
while the air there was
scale.
safer. In fact, of Clefable's camps and left to die.
Hey everyone.
Here's the old Toasty design where he was more like an iPad. Here's another Paradox Pokemon. And because I'm different, this is a future design, but it kind of looks like, you know, like a Industrial Revolution style, like steampunk. He's got the oven in the front. I love this design. He came out so good. This was one that really got me going. So many people like this on my Instagram. It blew up on Twitter. This is a future, this is a future form of a Staraptor. And before you go, well, buddy, you know, it looks like a Paradox past dinosaur version. And, you know, again, it's me being different. And the idea here was that in the future, you know, whatever it was caused Staraptor to revert back to their older form to have a leg up in a more dangerous world. So it's kind of like bird reverting back to dino. So yeah, like if I really wanted to be pedantic, I could have like shifted the design a little bit, or you know, just whatever it is, like make it feel like a past paradox. Like I wasn't following a lot of the rules, right? Yellow eyes and the mascara bit and this and that. But I wanted to make the designs I wanted to see. Big deal, right? Um, so come back to Mr. Bonny John's lab and say, look what I found, because I rolled legendary. But yeah, so I really loved this look and feel, and we'll kind of see how it evolves. Like this was pretty cool too, just around the corner of the dex entry, name reveal for Shooting Star. In review, I did this thing that I don't think anyone else was really doing, where in, you know, all throughout, I'd give them like these the paradox names, and then I'd have you stay in the end and you'd get new reveals, right? Like what the Pokemon's name were, a proper dex entry, for example. And I liked this level of finish, you know. You continued on, and then I do this thing where all the art appeared together. It felt very rewarding. Like I try to give you guys a reason to stick through to the end. And then further again, that cinematic feel, like no one else did this. And it's just how I would do things anyway. I really like it. And ultimately, because of this level of polish and finish, by the way, this art I did on stream, actually. I don't know if anyone remembers me doing that, but I really enjoyed making this. And then you have the outro. And it has its own charm. Again, I don't think like any other PokeTuber did something like this. That was like my strength, right? That's my authenticity. This one, designing new Paradox starter Pokemon, also got me a lot of popularity on Instagram and Twitter and stuff. People love these
Welcome in, trainers.
designs.
My name is Bonnie.
Oh, excuse me. This isn't the one I'm thinking about. As you can see now, I updated Toasty's design. He went from a general iPad kind of kid into becoming a Game Boy, or I should say a nondescript handheld. So there goes not Rotom for legal reasons. So, you know, I leaned into having some fun. Eventually, I would save the shiny for the end reveal as well, because I wanted to. Over here, I realized, let me not show everything. Show, not tell, right? So before I had given the types, over here now it says typing to be determined. And the story of everything was that we hear about a Paradox Pokemon or a design that's, you know, that I'm making. I send you guys to go reclaim it, and I'd be like, in some instances, if it's like a grass Pokemon, I would mention a grass gym leader. I contacted Ramos, a grass gym leader from so-and-so, to help me understand, you know, this Paradox Pokemon, and really kind of help make the world feel a little more bigger and real. You know? Scale I would also save for the end future kind of videos. Over here, this is a fun way to just, you know, reuse the background asset. And I don't know, it's just aesthetic to me. This looks really nice. There's a little conversation. It just kind of further builds like the world building, the relationship I have with my sidekick. And it feels like you're in on the conversation as well. You know? Updated all this designs. I love this design so much. Final Bastion. And the idea was like he's like a Mars rover, and then he's got like this biome on his back, and that plants and life in general were so rare. This even is supposed to kind of emulate like Mars terrain, you know. If someone ever made a 3D model of that, that'd be so sick. So yeah. Legally distinct Toasty, absolutely. In my honest opinion, I would say this Shooting Star's design isn't that bad. I think it's awesome. What star is this Professor Bohdi handing out to its trainers? I'm not sure. I guess like in a perfect world, it would be 3 brand new starters, right? A new grass, water, and fire starter. Um, I'm not sure. I guess if anything, maybe he's not like the I don't want to say the local professor, but maybe he's more of like a niche kind of professor doing his own things. But ideally, if I were to, it'd be like his own, the region's own grass, water, and fire starter. Another thing that I started to do, and this is almost like a proper homage to See Bonnie Draw. Um, as you can see, Pokemon designs inspired by The Last of Us. So, you know, while we have a lot of folks like Stern and whatnot doing that kind of stuff as well, Zotempo starters, facts. I was just thinking that, JC. In fact, I think JC even gave me, you know, some ideas about this. And I remember there was an individual, shout outs to you wherever you are. They'd always have something to say about like a lot of my design choices. And I think they even said something like, because I had mentioned like I'm working on a set of Last of Us designs, and they weren't happy about it. And in hindsight, I'm glad the old me would have been like scared, like, oh, actually, it's a good idea, bad idea. It's one person giving their opinion. And they just didn't believe that it was a good fusion because they're like, well, Last of Us is adult, Pokemon is kid friendly. In my opinion, they're thinking way too small. Also, I like Last of Us. I like Pokemon. I'm gonna make a fucking fusion of it. End of story. And yeah, so in this video, I got to start exploring where I was like, I love Pokemon, but I don't want to like just do Pokemon exclusive. And I started doing a bunch of these like Pokemon designs inspired by. Eventually, I do Super Mario, Star Wars, and it was that See Bonnie Draw kind of, you know, train of thought where I was like, whatever new hotness is coming out, I could reference it by designing Pokemon of that ilk. And so this was from that set. Roasty, Moisty, and Leafy. Why do I feel like that could definitely be Japanese names for Pokemon? But yeah, ultimately one of these designs would go on to move into Zotempo. So getting ready for animated after I want to do a few 3D Arc City streams. Would love to do more. Yeah, I mean, whatever inspires you guys, you know? For me, the videos being in a universe discovery thing. Yes, I love that. Oh, speaking of Ramos. So as you can see, I started shifting the designs a little bit. This actually is kind of built off the template for Pokemon Cross D&D. Pokemon Cross D&D, you'd have the art being designed on one side and then information on the other. So
This man's known for his green thumb.
because I wasn't doing it like the other Poketubers who would talk about what they're doing, I would like do the, you know, in-world narration. You could hear Toasty like talking in the background to me and whatnot. I decided to put design notes because I am a yapper and I did want people to know what my headspace was like. So I could still communicate for the story. And then if you really wanted to learn more about the designs, it would be there. You could pause it and read it, you know? Bonny John, welcome in. Oreo Otaku, welcome in. Are you gonna watch Batman? I was like, probably. I have so much to get to, so I'll probably forget to. I have a million things to watch, so. Here we have UB Spore, and, you know, obviously, like, all the templates and everything will continuously evolve over time. I love this design as well, the Skulker. This guy, as you guys know, I'm gonna bring into Zotempo. And you can kind of see how I've changed up his body plan a little bit. And kind of cleaned him up for Zotempo. But I love this guy. I messed up over here. I put the shiny coloration there. That's okay. Local professor of science homework. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on. That's cute. And you know what was really cool? I was so grateful that a lot of you guys would tell me you guys, one, were watching the videos because it's like 5 minutes in near the end. A lot of you guys actually took to the engagement. And, you know, you would... Oh, you heard that? Cordyception had its own cry. So I would come up with, like, cries. I would use this Pokemon cry generator. Actually, I would go through Gen 1, 2, 3 kind of sprites. And I would, like, grab Pokemon randomly click them, I'd listen for the sprites, and I would splice them and like try to find something that fit. After a while, again, I was just making so much work for myself, and that return on investment wasn't there. So I kind of like started like peeling back a little bit, you know?
Click have incredible. They fail. They take. Born when a quarter click is able to
Quarter
receive
cluster.
bytes to-
So yeah, as you can see, a lot of these videos would evolve over time. Again, just like Stern was
Welcome
doing
in,
now.
trainers. Bonnie here, or you can call me the professor.
And also my
This is Toasty and I have been studying.
my narration and voice acting got better over time. Obviously, things just got cleaner and cleaner.
Last week.
Here we go.
got the mod-
Once again, evolving the direction of the videos. Now I'm kind of using the presentation style that I was using for when I'd be on other people's collab channels in videos, like for Ron.
American mushrooms.
So
Princesses.
over
And
here,
members
like you
of
kind of like
Abyssinian militia.
had a preface.
Sees who snatched away the princess. Who masterminded the whole
Welcome to the
operation.
final level.
Let-
Oh, okay, so what happened was I just skipped the
These
straight up
turtle-like
drawing
creatures have the
process.
territory
And that was a little more
level
easier
skin
for me. That's
above.
one less thing I had to
Signature
like
move is
record and do.
walking. Boom bash 2. Making the both you
Oh, okay, so at this point, I decided to trade out speed paint. And I would just deliver more designs in videos.
Snap Princess Lab to Steelers. And the more
'Cause,
we
you know,
move,
like,
we've been underwhelmed
A
position.
3-stage design, the first two are pretty easy. The third I'd have to
This
probably put a
creature
little more
fulfills the
effort
role
into,
as-
you know?
Report some sightings of a
And I like that too, that it just jumps into the next thing.
mushroom UB discovered in these.
Like it kind of trims the fat a little bit.
Last week, we learned that the many
Um,
mushroom Pokemon that began to spread around various environments were not their own entities, but form changes to the default base form of
Okay.
mushroom. The same in Rocky Cap. Raised to Lucky
Shell
camps.
armor,
Hiding
Mega
the
Mash,
buttons
Pokemon
when
doubles in
large
size and rolls
shooting
itself like a
was
bowling
spotted,
ball.
and those the key to. Wow,
Ooh, here we go, UB Air.
Things
So,
got dangerous, but
this
we were able to
Bowser
capture this
design
impressive specimen
was
that really paved the way
so
in our
popular on my Instagram. I think it hit something like 3,500 likes or something, which is like huge for me at the time. And it was this really nice thing because it kind of told me or taught me that like numbers ain't shit, to be honest, you know? I was like, oh cool, I got this thing. I feel popular, but like it didn't fill me with inherent joy. You know? Knockley before Knockley existed? Shoot, is that true? No, that can't be right. Because Scarlet and Violet, these are after the Paradox videos. So Knockley was part of that generation where Paradox introduced. Almost believed you for a second, Dingus.
understanding the greater threat. That's right. We believe that we've caught an early form of the dangerous turtle varieties. We're looking
And so
to
yeah,
discover
like again, you never know what you want until you get it, and then you realize if you actually wanted it or not. Don't get me wrong, yeah, it's nice to get likes, it's nice to get views, like it feels rewarding because you're working towards something and it's proof of progress. And I got all those likes for the Bowserker post, but like I said, after a while I was like, oh my god, that's so cool, wow, people are finding my thing, da da da. And then after a while I'm like, okay, like it doesn't really mean anything, you know? Like it does and it doesn't. I don't believe how often your least favorite things become popular. Happens. Living up to the name, I suppose, not a worry.
It's a form these are variant like Plummerat and Proto region. So the
Oh
key
look,
turtle
so
bees
for
are
Bowser,
busted
I
out
did do the
presence of
speed
that.
paint.
The
I guess I
creatures
wanted to
naturally
kind of,
flames in the rocky terrain to make this one of the most
create some sort of
dangerous missions
build-up,
we've ever
right?
encountered. Turtle troopers make the siege all the more. Go over UB.
This design came out so dope, dude. I look at it and I can already see how I'd want to adjust the design. And ultimately, I did give take this design and made a spiritual successor for it in Zotempo.
and before
But
this one
yeah.
faces those years. And
You get something that you thought you wanted, it's not exactly what it is. That's great. That's just yet another lesson to learn, you know? Question of the day, review. Yeah, the format hasn't really evolved too much. It just continues to get cleaner and cleaner. The vision, and this is why, you know, you never know how far these things go. You just create and you just keep whittling away, like, you know, it's a block of marble, and you sculpt it to become as close as you can to perfect. And perfect is truly unachievable. Thank God that, you know, that's a relief. But in earnest, any art you make in whatever form, especially when you share it, it should be at the peak of what you're capable of creating at that time. That's my genuine thought. Gwinty, what's up? Welcome in. Oh, your heart sank a little. Yeah, I'm sorry. Not gonna stream anymore. No, I've been talking about it for the last month now. Maybe it's maybe last few weeks, maybe month. I don't know. He's very compressed, like he's being squished. Yep. This guy was used for Zotempo. Yes, that's for the. It was based off a Chinese cryptid, I want to say, if not cryptid, a folklore creature, who is. I have 3 homages to Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur. Because even if I am moving away from Pokemon, I will never not like it. I'll be 90 playing Generation 20, you know, or whatever we're up to. And if I was, you know, like with Zotempo living in a monster tamer space, I need to pay homage to Pokemon. Like that, of course I would. And so I have like a Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise homage. That Bowserker design we saw is the base for the Blastoise homage. Since they're turtles and stuff, right? Nothing is perfect except for Wick. Joe, I like you. You're smart. You're not a dingus after all. I drew Link as a Pokemon, and it's not how you'd expect it. Ooh, okay, so like I'm like experimenting with titles and stuff, you know? Could have caught up more streams. That's okay. They'll be up for a little bit. I'll be unlisting, you know, some streams, like just I have like over 400 videos on the channel. They'll be there to watch in playlists. Okay, so don't be like, Bonnie, you can't delete your videos. I wouldn't ever delete it. They're being archived in a way to preserve the history. But they'll be unlisted but watchable because they're gonna be visible on my channel, so you guys can always come to the channel and watch this stuff. Okay. You know, looking at this title, it's curious how I wrote it because like I was very formulaic for a long time, and you know, with the new videos that I'll be making, again, I don't want to like overdo anything where I take more time than I need to design a thumbnail or design video titles that hook and capture people. I don't want to sit here and be like doing A/B testing. Like, does this thumbnail work better? Does this title work better? You know, where's the call of action? Where's this, that? Like, I'll care about it to some degree because, like I said, it's as important to work on your art and deliver in a package that's worthy of it as well. You know, like, why would I spend so much time on a video and then I carelessly send it out into the world? You know, nothing be the same as being able to talk to my Bonnie boy. No. Listen, like I said, I'll still be here in spirit. If you guys close your eyes, you'll hear me say, "What are you doing? Get back to work." And I want you guys to conquer all your creative
Welcome in, trainers. Bonnie here.
endeavors, you know?
Call me the professor. My assistant Toasty and I have been studying.
Oh, this one, it just straight up jumps into the art. I mean, no preface.
Long ago.
As you can see, I was doing like Sugimori style. And the render here, I gotta say, looks pretty damn good. Take care, Oni, okay? Peace. Thank you for hanging out. I would eventually, if you guys recall, I'll show which video where I kind of like stopped pursuing Sugimori style. And that also made designing these Pokemon a lot more harder because I could finish a design, but now I'd have to like do as best as I can to polish. And I will say, I'm 24th. Welcome in. The thing is, what's up? Welcome in. I had to go through and learn the Sugimori style, which you can go through my designs and see how much better I got at it. Because like a lot of the earlier renderings, you know, were a little shoddy, but like that's where it was at that time, and that's fine. But me trying to emulate it by doing the thing is by realizing I didn't want it after all.
Three individuals with heightened
You know?
aptitude of courage. With setting off
Here's the shiny. It's pretty good. Maybe sputter. Okay, I guess sputters water out. That's based off of the well, you'll see. You be frond. So cute. You be pixie. Oh, I'll say this. You know, I don't think we need to really go through this video. But essentially, I had eventually started streaming, and I was like, oh, I need to make art for the channel anyway. I might as well stream it, get people in on the design process. They keep me company. They can help me design like certain elements. I would never finish the designs on stream because I'd want you guys to like see, you know, look forward to a finished work. Because otherwise you just spoil the video and not watch it. And so around this time, around maybe The Last of Us, I started streaming me designing the Pokemon, and that's when I really got into designing, because it was like this collaborative element, right? This was my first ever collab on the channel, and here's the new intro that I made.
Welcome in, everyone. Professor Bohdi here with some new discoveries.
Very simple, but effective in my opinion. It was still see Bonny draw, to the point. It just felt like something I needed to do for that new era. Would you say you were more productive on stream or off stream? It really depends, Joe. The thing is, I would say that when it came to creating art, it was imperative I streamed. I felt so inspired by you guys. Like, I'm a very social person as much as I am an introvert. And so it always felt like you guys were like my little, you know, siblings looking over my shoulder, like, what you drawing? Oh, you should do this, you should do that. And like, I learned how to take critique better. I learned how to communicate better. More importantly, I learned how to like stick to my vision. But yeah, doing art, it was like kind of like one of the first things I started doing to get the video started, because without the art, there's nothing. That's what people are coming for. So I'd like really kind of establish the direction of the designs. I'd have a good idea of what I'd want to do. And then I'd come into chat and like, I'd realize like, oh, this is going to work. This is not, this needs twisting or adjustment or this or that. But yeah, in many cases, I'd finish streaming, shower, and then edit to like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, depending. And I'm doing all this like, you know, the smallest of the biggest things, right? Like creating cries back when that was a thing, writing narration, or excuse me, scripts. I would rarely like do the voice acting stuff late into the night. I do that maybe before I hopped into the stream, but you could see again how much work would go into these things, how much of my life it took. And if I had an editor, I'd probably have been a PokeTuber for a little longer. But like, if I wanted to keep on my pace of once a week and I'm the sole operant, you know, audio, video, art, editing, it was just too much. Take care, Nui. Really fun watching. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the kind words. Thing is, you'll be able to stream and be active on Discord when you can. We shall see. Thank you so much, though. I appreciate you.
With 3 colleagues in the field,
This is my first.
they discovered new Pokemon with an interesting theme. An artist who's been exploring past and future designs through streaming of your favorite starters and legendaries.
I don't think they're like related in lore, but they have.
This took me so long to edit because this is my first 30-minute video. So this is Umbreon Libris's section. He had created some Pokemon. Learning how to edit audio and like getting, obviously, here's my presentation naturally. Oh no, sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, that's cool. I kind of wanted to do a thing where I invited these people into my stage. So I put their, they would send me references or I'd put up references for them. So I thought for a second, this is Froopies. What a nice collab. Not reading that second part, Deeves. This is very cute. And the prompt was really dope. And I remember we had like a little Discord group where a bunch of us are here. Okay, so here's my stuff right here.
I'm gonna find where I come.
This guy came out so good, Minecraft.
For hikers and construction workers, and their discovery in days.
And then this one,
being an amalgamation of all things.
I kind of like how chunky he looks here. Felt more Pokemon-like. This one, I don't like the way I did the gold rendering. It looks nice, but it doesn't look comprehensible. You know, so this is one I would probably redesign. I remember redesigning this very early in the day we were supposed to record. But I remember thinking like, I put so much love and effort. I really hope that, some return on investment would happen. And it did, because of the 4 people that collab here, it feels older than the rest of the textures. It's just too jarring of a juxtaposition. It should have looked more chunky. Like, it was so clean, you know? But I would say that, yeah, so in the chat, we were talking, we're like, great job, everybody, yada, yada, yada. And then I remember Libris messaging, saying, Bonnie, your thing is going viral. And I hit like 20,000 views in like a few hours. And at that time, none of my videos had ever got that high. So I was like, oh my God, it just felt so nice to be able to, have something like reflect the level of work that I put in. Because yeah, like if I'm going to be biased, like I love the work I created and I worked hard to put it out there and this and that. But it's like, it's going to be frustrating. And so when I saw that return on investment in real time, I'd never experienced a video going like viral and what felt viral for me, you know? And it put a lot of pep in my step. Continuing on. Oh, so this one, Chad and I created Pokesonas over Discord. This was the first time that I had started the Discord, Discord, I promised you guys, I made it, we stayed consistent, we started doing art prompts, and I was like saying, if we get enough, I'll feature everyone. This was the first batch, so it was really cool to highlight my community for the first time, and this was through a shorts. So let's watch it, because it's only a minute.
Youngster, beauty. Are you a youngster, beauty, or maybe an ace trainer? I'm Mr. Bonny John, aka Professor Bohdi, and today I want to highlight our Discord community with our first ever art project. September's art prompt was, introduce yourself in the Pokemon world by drawing yourself or Sona as a trainer class.
That is so endearing to see, because I haven't seen some of these people in stream, and that's fine, people move on, or, they're too busy, but a lot of those community members are still part of the community, and they show up here and there. And then fun fact about this one, I started using this version of my character after, because I just loved not only how I rendered it, but it felt more... Like, don't get me wrong, as you guys have seen through my streams, I do love putting a good fit together, and I like to present myself well. And the regular Professor Bohdi persona is just, you know, he's kind of got a nice, clean, professional looking fit. But I felt like I got to make myself as a Sona and combine it with the Professor Bohdi thing, where it was like, in the real Pokemon world, I would probably be a Pokemon Ranger. I don't want to battle. I just want to protect Pokemon and help people. And I was like, oh yeah, you know what? And I started, and even back then I was like, Professor Bohdi was a ranger before he became a professor. So it was kind of cool where I like got to, for this, you know, fake character, a persona that'd be voice acting in my own videos, kind of expand the lore a little bit. So I really love how this guy came out. Bonnie writes, Rex Thomas, I've become a big fan of yours since I watched you. I'm sure you're one of the coolest. Thank you so much. That is so kind of you to say. Thank you so much. That was all right. I was always a bit surprised with how you weren't more popular. Well, they often listening. I learned I didn't even recognize the vocal cries. Yeah. Yeah, and it's like in those, and thank you for that as well. I would put so much effort, and I love doing it. I did it because I wanted to. I did it because I wanted to stand out. I did it because I wanted to prove I deserve to be there. And, you know, I just had to naturally scale back a lot of things because, again, that return on investment just made creation difficult. Which is why I think the new direction of my videos, which is literally me staring into the camera, cheering you guys on, talking about art stuff, not even like teaching you guys like, here's color theory, here's this, here's that, here's how to, it's more like I've made, you guys wouldn't believe the strides I've made as an individual, you know, slowly going blind, the weight loss, the therapy I've done for my mind and my spirit. And I'm so grateful and proud that the old version of me never gave up. And so I have a lot to say, and I want to share that with whoever's going to listen. And, you know, I suspect even if I, you know, heard these lessons that I've learned now back in the past, I wasn't ready to learn it. But who's to say whatever I do put out there and someone comes across it and that's what they need then, you know, I think that's worth creating, you know? Polkadot, what's up, Gabby? Welcome in. Long time no see. Miss your art streams. I wish you the best. I'll see you transfer your body condition. Thank you, thank you. And trust me when I say I found peace in some of the most beautiful way, and I will be the first to remind myself that I'm human and I'll falter and I'll get scared and I'll be nervous, but I'll also be excited and I'll be passionate. And you know, life is that balance and kind of riding the ebb and flow, right? So it's been a wonderful journey, and I have a lot of life to live, and so do you guys, you know? Hopefully even in here, you guys have found some nuggets that will inspire you. My Pokemon fusions became monstrosities. This video, I kind of low-key do want to watch in full, chat. I'm going to just quickly jump through these other videos. Oh, look at this. Warning. Legendary Paradoxes inbound. Get ready. In those subtle ways, I like to, you know, hi, I read finale stream and I run here. I hear you. Yes, today's the last day.
Is about to explode.
Power levels at the crater are shaky.
If our initial analysis is correct, today's Pokemon anomalies are the strongest to ever be recorded thus far. Alongside Professor Sada and Turo.
Ooh, you can see how I've evolved the template. Oh, this is cool. For the Paradox, you got the past and the future look. Even the fonts that they used officially for the games I used.
May, a legendary trainer from the Hoenn region.
Anomaly detected. This is cool.
Infection will be.
Oh, and then I shifted the look feel to be a little more cleaner. So Paradox of the past. I did this thing. This is from older C. Bonny Draw stuff. From the desk of Professor Bohdi with the folder coming in.
Extraterrestrial. Splice and Flux is so ancient that modern Pokeball technology was unable to compute its
This
DNA
looks cool as hell.
Our first.
This should have 3 billion views. Further notes, I got to put like information.
The crystal on their chest glow when it's able to skewer a victim with its limbs, body to further build its own weapon. With the Paradox, the body appears.
This was, I loved making these.
The name given.
Infinite Gene.
Trainers. Why we bring out our fun.
Pretty cool. I redesigned Ben 10 aliens. You guys remember this? Red was a great idea. Thank you. New ultra wormholes detected. So you guys really love Ben 10, and you guys taught me so much about
Welcome aboard, trainers.
it.
I'm Professor Bohdi.
This mind speaks to me. Hell yeah.
Stumped.
So you guys taught me a lot about Ben 10. Mario, Last of Us, Zelda, Mandalorian, or Star Wars. So we got to Ben 10, and you guys educated shit out of me. Spoon killed me. I love that spoon. In fact, it's an inverse of the thing that he has on his head, so it's like this cool cross symmetry. And I would do fun little things like this, depending on the episode, where like Toasty becomes like the Omnidex Toasty and stuff. Into the Ben 10 cult? Exactly. And I would do like fun things where, so in the background, you see the wispy green kind of stuff going on. Even the font is like very Ben 10 inspired. So I would like go out of my way to kind of, you know, curate the look as it continued in the franchises and whatnot, you know? ASO 2, even that looked different. So much fun. Again, I want you... Oh, yeah, check this out. So I thought this was so much cleaner. I got this from the first collab that I done. Really cool. Revealing my lost Pokemon designs. This was a fun video because this was like an opportunity for me to reveal a Pokemon that a lot of people wanted to see. And it was a thank you for 5K video. And here I have 10K. So it was thank you for 5K. And it was the first time I really started putting myself on camera, like on the main channel. And you can kind of see how empty now, like look at how much I have in the background. You see how empty it was back then? I just moved into this office space.
Stream, I'm Professor Bohdi, aka Mr. Bonny John.
And you know, I wasn't like super comfortable putting myself on camera. Meteor wasn't real. Yeah, it's a cool design. But yeah, now I'm kind of like learning to love myself and feel comfortable. Like I say that and I stream, but like it's different when you're like curating like words that have meaning and weight to not only you but could impact others. So I just revealed a lot of designs in this video that like I would talk about on stream or that we didn't see well, or maybe that was in other channels. So here's a good look at the Never-Ending Nightmare G-Max Darkrai, one of my all-time favorite designs I've done. And then I answered a lot of your guys' questions here. This was cool. Potempo still in development. Here's New Life. I would also get to confirm a lot of designs that I made in other videos, right? So for example, when it came to collab videos, I never got to name this guy. In fact, I never got to, like, I didn't need to finish his design because that was in the prompt in itself for the video. So I spent time to like redesign and fix up a lot of Pokemon that we'll see here. So that was a cool opportunity for me to highlight a lot of designs, you know? My face on camera right away, kill that fear stage. Smart. That's called exposure therapy. I guess that's what I've kind of done with streaming, right? Gym Leader JC, what's your favorite Pokemon you've come with? I want to see what other designs. Here's like Potempo stuff or Zotempo. Colosslam. I did this as a thank you for like the 20K for the Ben 10. I thought his name was new. You know, Dingus, you were so real for knowing that. What a G. I did this on stream. I'm gonna cut through and find like all the rare. Wow, look at the older Zotempo designs. So really, there was like a lot of Zotempo stuff going on in this video. Cheeky. My Heatran redesign. Oh my god, I love it because I kind of whiffed it with my first Heatran redesign. So I redesigned Heatran, which I think this version looks a lot better, and then I still got to transform the old Heatran design I had and made it a future paradox. And so I think that really works. You've met better time. I didn't have myself for a stream. Babyba. And you guys are evolving Babyba right now for the community prompt. Bonus, Chikurashi. So Chikurashi actually was the first version, but I redesigned this version because the first version didn't really land. And it made me want to essentially create a new version that became Beibiba. Does that make sense? When they are able to find the loving sweet step, which one would what up on Dragon Ball all time? So I close, but... And then finally, I updated some of these designs. Updated Kintorai's design. Bam! Much cleaner, much more regal. And then the design that so many people waited for. In fact, that's where, when people are like, are you going to design your region? And I would think like Kintorai's contemporary would have been in that region. I finally got to design and push out Riger. Riger is the evolution of Tiger. And I think that he was worth the wait. Within the jungles it calls I think he was worth the wait. This Pokemon is the apex predator. It's hard because he's always going to be below Kintorai, like in the actual food chain, so to speak. So it's like, how do you make a Pokemon that looks cool, that people have been waiting on, but who's not going to really eclipse Kintorai as far as concept, right? I redesigned your Pokemon designs. This was, oh look, Bohdi. I put myself in the video. That's cool. AKA Mr. Bonny John. Thank you so much for joining me today. On today's episode, I did that. Specifically, this was fun. This had a decent amount of views. This was at around 8K. And it's like a chance for me to give back to the community. So here was my redesign here for Lucidolish by Ascension. Mayor's Migglesby did an incredible Chakaldrin design. And I just spruced it up over there. I also got the chance to put Collateral in here, who I love so much. Collateral. And then this Phalanx design. Trojans. I see this version, the one that Gibster did, with as many little Phalanx are there. I think that would be an incredible G-Max, where it's like a true Trojan horse, like a massive size. So I'd love to have like made a G-Max version that kind of fuses these two together. But yeah. We designed new Pokemon for Legend ZA. Again, almost 140,000 views. And then we had the Halloween horror episode. Let me quickly scrub through this one.
And Professor Bohdi, thank you so much for joining me
There's
today.
me again.
Pokemon Legend ZA was announced earlier this year, and we just haven't heard anything since. Meet Hype, and pleased to introduce
Hiya.
and Verg of Vergalis.
Thank you for having us, yeah.
Thank you for sure to fix
This
that
was
by
so
jump
fun.
shots.
These guys were
Two
so great
Pokemon
too. And once again, like, I really put so much love and care and effort into this video, and this was about one of the most rewarding, you know, like views wise. But like, I had so much fun making it. Like, we were all cracking up.
So I'm gonna go ahead and share.
It was such a great time.
Who is this?
This is not Del Trio, but three handsome gentlemen whose names I don't know, but they play for the same team. That it feeds my cult.
I won't go through this one. I want you guys to watch it. But yeah, like, this was... I really wish I got to do more collabs, but once again, the editing would have been just too much. You know what? Why can't I just go through the art real quick? Here was my Empoleon. People really loved this. Both of the designs. Everyone loved all the designs. Like, we all came to kill, you know? Ron debuted his art style for the first time on my channel. I was so blessed. There's Ludicolo that he made. And we'll see if any of these designs make it into Legend ZA. Here's his Cyclizar based off the penny farthing, which was invented in France. Verg, I told Verg, I'm like, you gave me so much to edit, but it was so worth it. She's so talented. Here's Hydreigon. So sick. So cute. A Cerberus. And then, oh my god, Druddigan in this dormant form, the brumation form, and then it activates. Oof, beautiful. So cool. And then, of course, our boy Jack coming in hot with the Vespiquen.
Ooh.
Originally, it did look kind of meaner, and I was like, no,
And it was just so cool that I could, because Ron and Jack has had me on their channel, Deebs as well. So it was just so cool that I could, like, give them the Professor Bohdi treatment, right? Subjectively on the background and put them in the format
the fact that maybe some people
that
don't really like it.
I would
and
use.
Instead, it's just like dressed up in all of these.
So it felt so
fancy- it's
cool
got
where I
these,
could like
little
showcase their work with my brand. Like, it's a dream come true. I manifested this. I was like, I'm gonna work with these people, and look, it happened. You have to believe it can happen. If you don't, nothing will ever happen. And then here's this really dope Meganium design.
really cute.
I love this so much.
I'm glad. See, this is pretty hard to flip because yeah.
Yeah, it's got the usual polish and love.
Registration complete.
I'm not gonna go through. What I'll do is, first of all, let me catch up with you guys. Halloween episode was 6. Halloween Harem. This is on my For You page yesterday. That's what Julie. Oh, that's cool, dude. That's awesome. Fun time regardless, absolutely. Aside from the collabs. Hello, what's up? Welcome in, welcome in. Just want to eat all this art. It was nice talking to you, though. Absolutely, Ayani. I'm going to watch this intro with you guys because I put so much time in this, and I really wish both Halloween videos got more views, and it didn't. It's okay. That's just life. I think to close off the stream, the video that I'm most proud of is the Halloween one. So it's at 6:45 right now. We're going to watch the part 2 intro just because, again, I love the level of care I put into it. We'll watch the Halloween fusions, aka the Halloween part 1. I think we'll close it, chat, because we're almost 2 hours in, right? That's okay, Gabby. That's okay. And listen, I'm still going to be on YouTube. You guys can watch the new videos that I put out. I'm cheering for your guys' creative journey. I'll be cheering for myself as well. You know, if you don't support yourself first, if you don't fill your own vessel, it's hard to fill others. So I'll still be here. And again, the Discord link is going to be there. You guys can hang out, reach out there. You can always say hi on Instagram, wherever else. The content I'm making in the future, and I'll talk about it more on the community page, it's not what, you know, we're used to seeing. It's not going to be Pokemon. It's still going to be creative and artistically linked. That's kind of been the through line of this channel that's been around 13 years. Love the Halloween one. Thank you, Shadow. I appreciate it. Watch them, please do. So let's watch the part 2, and we'll watch the part 1, and we'll call it. All right? Is the audio good for you guys? Can you hear it? Because I want you guys to be able to hear all the audio stuff, you know? The feel is absolutely. Last stream, I wasn't here all that often. That's okay. That's okay. Listen, the art's going to always be here. The videos are here. You can watch it and enjoy it. Missy, thank you for coming in. So cool to see your art. Thank you. Thank you. Amazing streams. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for bothering to show up and always show me kind words and support. I wouldn't have kept this up if I didn't feel like you guys cared for me, and I've always felt very cared for and seen. So thank you so much. You hear it? Okay. All the little stings, the sound effects, like I love curation. That's my favorite thing.
And that's why my family and I always trust Pokemon's organic super potions.
The robbery took place earlier today. Officer Jenny investigated the scene at the museum where villagers are saying it was the work of Pokemon. The only targeted artifact was the newly installed display of the sarcophagus of Kappa.
Now, again, we'll watch the first part, and then like this goes into, you know, what I built out. I think I would have absolutely done a part 3. I don't know how I would have been able to like continue the level of editing and polish and storytelling, because I kind of like close it off here, but I love making these videos. So, thank you. I mean, look, don't forget, guys, I'm not just a PokeTuber. Like, I love art. I love animation. I love film. I really go out of my way to create content that, you know, the other PokeTubers weren't doing, that felt like me. And that means just creating with that authentic passion. And while like I don't have that anymore for the Pokemon side of things, the new stuff that I'm going to create, it's going to truly nurture me. That's the stuff that I can't wait to share with you guys. And I'm always grateful for what I created with Pokemon, with you guys watching. Okay, we'll just jump into it before I start crying. All right, here we go. My Pokemon fusions became monstrosities. Who knows? Maybe it's at 5.3k views. Maybe the title sucked. I like the thumbnail quite a bit. The mouse is mesmerizing. Yeah, because my visual impairment and I have 2 screens. I need to have a massive lime green with trails. Otherwise, it's so easy for me to lose. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Take water. I will. Thank you, Gabby.
Hello and welcome to class, everyone. I'm Professor Bohdi, and today... What is going on with the lights, Toasty?
Seems like there was a bit of interference, but connection is stable.
What's up, Sketch?
You know, I was specifically waiting for Halloween to pass to get to recording, but I guess there's still some residual effects from the holiday lingering.
How do you mean, Professor?
Toasty, play cool, man. Well, every year around the Halloween season, Pokemon seem to act all... weird. Mimikyu, not yet! I figured we should wait past Halloween to put our video out to let the chaos subside a little. For Ghost,
You know, if you guys want the video,
Psychic type
the
Pokemon,
volume up.
the
right
barrier
there.
between our world and theirs, what we might refer to the spirit world, weakens. I've decided to call a forum and invited psychics, sages, and even a hexmate. Oh my god! Is that a brand new ghost?
A new discovery. Peekaboo.
The other night.
Will say, not only am I so proud of this video for the level of editing and care, the storytelling, this was the first time I stopped pushing for the Sugimori art style in my designs, and I was like, I want to be me. And it was in these moments, right, the evolution of all the videos I'm doing, the art I'm doing, the editing, where I'm like, I need to nurture myself. So because I stopped nurturing Sugimori and Pokemon, I could still do now Bonny John and Pokemon, and then that formula would eventually create Zotempo. And then me nurturing Zotempo made me realize, oh, I need to keep nurturing myself. So it's in this way where if you continue to create, continue to do, it will take you to your greater good. Don't ever forget that. Acting was good too. Thank you.
Trouble sleeping. Was it the tree branches scraping against my window? Or maybe the leftover tacos that gave me an upset tummy earlier? Back to my very real story.
Professor, that was not the hoax that rebel.
Dang it, Toasty. Edit this part out. Where was I? Okay, I decided to get up and look over some notes I
Welcome in,
recorded
Caden.
about the Halloween holiday phenomenon when I stepped out of my room to see a figure at the end of the hallway. A flash of white from the lightning storm illuminated for a brief second, and then whoosh, it disappeared. I summoned Toasty, and as we tiptoed across the creaky floorboards, I could swear the hallway started to extend itself for what felt like forever when...
Professor, you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Mimikyu, Mimikyu, don't make that face, buddy. It was an accident. Let's get that costume off of you. I know they all fell for the bit.
Professor, remain calm.
Toasty, you don't have to turn the lights or flicker anymore. The bit's over now.
Professor? It wasn't me.
Yeah, okay, wise guy. Let's do a quick check. Professor Bohdi. Here.
Did you just refer to yourself as a dead person?
Toasty. Mimikyu?
Professor?
Mimikyu.
This channel and laboratory now belong to me. Professor Bohdi, the professor who used to run this lab. He was boring. Played it safe, played it by the books. But where's the fun in that? Science begs to be used to its full potential. With polymer Pokemon, I alone can control life and death as I see fit. Why, I'd be a hero. Thus, allow me to chronicle my journey and save Pokemon left behind by this ugly, god-forsaken world.
This Feratu fusion would have been done.
For this first case, when an aging conqueror at the local carnival was crushed to death in a freak accident, I saw an opportunity to turn back the clock. You see, as a young boy, that conqueror brought me so much joy. He brought us all smiles in the town, and in an instant, his very own was taken away. I retrieved his body, and thus I sought the perfect formula to create my very first polymer Pokemon. I just needed to iron out the kinks. Huh? Iron? Yes. Here is Zero brought forth to us Sandy Shocks, a primitive but powerful source of metal and electricity. Perfect building blocks to usher in new life. Perhaps the designations of these creatures are a bit of a mouthful to read out.
Forget how nasally and like, I remember when I was voice acting this. You're getting like director's cut. First of all, it was fun to like, again, restructure or revise the templates to be spooky. You know, you got like the fog rolling in here, and you know, the background speed painting is like the, you know, TV error, blood splatters, and you'll watch as it degrades over time. But I remember the voice acting. I sat there and I was like trying to find the lines, and I remember like pitching my voice up and down and moving, and makes my throat hurt thinking about it.
But I have decided they will receive a name if they deserve it. Their only task is to stay alive, of course. Subject 534-989 lacks.
Where I got these numbers for, when you see them, 534-989, that's the like Conkeldurr and Sandy Shocks. Like, that's how I got like what looks like random numbers, which makes it feel like, you know, test subjects. It's a callback to the official numbers in the decks.
Are a bit 5-3 is in an odd way endearing still. Able to at least respond to basic commands, this entity, who I've nicknamed Frank, has potential beyond any of his more natural Pokemon counterparts. In this reborn state, the power from Sandy Shocks generates its beating heart, pulsating at a number too high to even fathom, giving him unreal strength in both the physical and spatial states.
See, even things like this where I turn off the lights, you know, I get the lights glowing on Professor Broody, destroyed Toasty's chassis. He's like, his voice, you can see, is like digitized and blinking. All that kind of stuff, like, is some of my favorite things to do when I'm like creating and like trying to push you guys into the world. But anyway, I'm gonna stop yapping. I just have a lot to say about this stuff. I kind of want to like let you guys enjoy it, but also, if this is one of our last times, like, I'm giving you a little behind the scenes stuff.
I have, in my time as the town's professor and alchemist, come to make quite a few enemies. People, as I see it, are afraid of change, and those that can see past those fears, well, I wouldn't call them allies per se, but they have helped me execute my ambitions. In the case of our local baroness, I owed her for some coin.
I agree, Ione. I'll just say this. As you saw, there's some audio glitches. You'll watch as the professor's sanity starts to degrade. So is how he views the world and how even the templates will look. It kind of matches his mental state. And so keep your eyes peeled on like a lot of those details.
And she informed me that her beloved Serena was suffering from a terminal illness and gave me the creature to transform her so she may live to see another day.
Subject 472-763.
You can even hear Toasty's voice begins to start getting a little more demonic as the time passes. So you know something is happening.
It may take years or even decades for these simple-minded buffoons to accept that polymer Pokemon will be the true successor to evolution. But with successes like this, I may win favor yet. I've come to call this beauty.
Carmilla, I forgot now, if chat wants to remind me, she's the name of, I think, some sort of vampire or some sort of like monster from an old school kind of film. So that's where all these designations came from. Obviously, Frankenstein is Frank, like no shit. So Carmilla, I forgot who it was. I think she's like a female vampire or some sort of monster. Somebody remind me.
Carmilla. And she is as every bit powerful and commanding as the trainer she once called her master. The Baroness met with, well, let's say an accident, and thus Carmilla now belongs to me. She has since dispatched several guards that have come knocking at my chamber door, and she herself moves as quiet as shadow, startling even I as I work to the late hours of night. I fear I may have made her too efficient, although I have already come to accept that if she chooses to end my life, then I am happy to be undone by my own work.
Same thing. Even the speech, you can see the text is getting funky. Like, the degradation continues. Murder Time. Book by Sheridan LaFanu. Thank you, thank you. Combinations are interesting. I developed a lot of these on stream, and it was fun to hear your guys' suggestions about that. Gotcha. Thank you,
Would
Rosa.
it surprise you that I've participated in the dark arts?
Even here,
Some
you saw
science is
the screen
magic, and as I
shake, the
continue to
creation of the
find
mummy,
success
like
in
the text is
sorcery
getting
that
screwed up.
fiber Pokemon, I sought to try a new avenue for fusion. You see, exotic goods are
Shout
not
out to
hard
Robots.
to find so long as you have the connections. In a recent expedition to a region far, far from here, archaeologists found several artifacts that were to be turned to a local museum. I could
His name is
smell it
Toasted.
a mile away. A cursed object housing the form of a Dusclops. Those bandages reeked of a ritual that I had read about from customs performed thousands of years ago. I just needed a body, dead or alive. How I'd retrieve the body of a Lucario is not of importance. What you will observe in awe instead is the fusion of life and death in ways that even I struggle to understand. Subject 448-356 is a creature that exerts immense spiritual pressure.
So, yeah, to say Professor sounds angrier, he's kind of like losing sleep. He's getting scared. He knows something strange is in the background. I would also say needed a body, a Bohdi. The dark arts. Toasted, indeed. Seth, this name, simply put, you have like Set is like an Egyptian name of a god. So because it's not any intrinsic mummy or pharaoh, and if you see part 2, you'll know that this very creature is kind of the reason why a sequel exists. So that's just a little teaser there. This is one of my most favorite designs. As simple as it is, having even the hands out while it's closed up, helps open up the silhouette and whatnot. And I set up a lot of potential here, so.
And able to walk between two worlds. With the help of Seth, as I've named it, I've seen what awaits on the other side. Even at a glimpse, I could barely understand what awaited me. Since returning to the land of the
with the screen shuddering, you see messages here where it says, I know you can see this. It was a fun way for me to kind of like communicate directly to the viewer, right? Like if I wanted to scare the viewer and make them freaked out, I wanted to get a little meta, Are you brave? I'm brave.
living. That shows little to no emotion. I suspect it is incomplete, but my grand scheme will continue when I find a cough egregious, although it may be some time before I can get my hands on such an entity.
Something funny about the PNG kind of missing that's like a natural thing that shows up in After Effects. For whatever reason, something got messed up, and I was like, I'm going to keep that. That's actually perfect for how destroyed everything looks. Like Broody, I made him glitched out. So now it's kind of like whatever's happening in his world is now metaphysically affecting the video and therefore communicating to the viewer, you know?
No, still.
I don't remember what all this was. I translated it using a font, I think called Wingdings, like, or basically I wrote it and then I shifted it to multiple Wingdings and I adjusted certain parts of it. So it'd be really hard to decipher. If anyone can decipher it and like send it to me on Discord, you're amazing. I genuinely think it would be way too much of an undertaking for me to do. And I don't really care, but I love that how crazy this scene looks. So again, I forgot what the messages were, but I did write stuff. I think obviously like the bottom right will say, just like the other ones, like the vampire experiment or whatever. I think this one would be like body double or body horror Pokemon or something.
Kill yourself. I am recording this log, locked in my own bunker at the bottommost level of my lab. I suspect I don't have much time. After all these years, I believe I would have met my demise by the hands of my own hubris, but alas, I have been cornered by a creation made by unholy law. It appeared to be a Pikachu, but no, it was a wretched copy of one instead. I saw shadow and ink bleed down its back, and for a mere moment, I could see a hand beckoning towards me. My mind thought to obey before my body and instinct took over. If this is my final log, then I shall say this. I have no regrets regarding my body of work, and one day the people will regard me as a visionary. Slowly, I've been losing my mind here in this basement, becoming a prisoner to time, space, and the chaos that lives in between. Shadows dance around me, around the corners of my eyes, and I wonder, am I being vanished? Has the extent of my work come back to exact revenge? But what for? I saved the lives of Pokemon. I should be heralded as a hero. Instead, I am talking out into a cold void. No one will hear this. They would never believe me anyway. I believe this is the end for me. Toasty? Where am I?
Find the thumbnail. Oh yeah, you remember that sketch? Yeah, so that right there was like the big bad. I would obviously reveal that with I would reveal that design in a later video, the G-Max Darkrai that was like causing this never-ending nightmare, as punishment for like breaking, all these like unwritten rules about creating life and whatnot. But that section, so in a lot of Cthulhu mythos, Cthulhu comes out of the water. And so this eldritch direction with like Pikachu kind of being this eldritch abomination with a body take over, kind of like the nod of Mimikyu in the beginning. I wanted to have like this beautiful moment where in the chaos at the end of it, that water and you hear the ocean waves pulling in and out. It kind of reminded me of a chance to connect it to the Cthulhu mythos, which is so connected to water. So that's what that was, with the light shining in, like a peaceful moment where Bohdi is losing his mind. And what I did in that section, I had taken an audio that I'd recorded that I didn't have space for, like thematically, and I reversed it. And so you'll hear like these creepy whispers. That's my voice as Professor Bohdi, kind of like, I want to say, I think I was like talking about how like I found clarity. The character found clarity by like succumbing to Darkrai, G-Max Darkrai being the Cthulhu counterpart of this world, you know? ASMR with Broody, adore the vibe, absolutely. How did this video under pro? You tell me. So good, thank you guys. All right, so we'll watch it and we're almost done and we'll call it an end.
Maybe QnA were trying to wake you up. It felt so bad for knocking you out by accident earlier.
Make you, it's okay, but I'm back. Although, I think you were in my dream, or... Oh, I hate when this happens.
What do you mean, Professor?
You ever have a dream? Well, I guess this one was kind of a nightmare. My head hurts, but I can barely remember anything anymore.
That's okay, Professor. Why don't you... I'm getting an incoming transmission from an unknown sender.
Thank you, Gabe. I appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by, man. I appreciate you so much.
I float in a world there is no light. I have been consumed by darkness. I float in a world where there is no light. All paths lead to here, where I no longer need my eyes, my mind, or my body. I have been consumed by darkness. Here it is cold, but it is all right. I have looked upon my life and I see the truth in my work. It is all for naught. I have been consumed by darkness, but today I can make out the shape of something. Watching. Something that was always there. But now I am free. It waves towards me, beckoning. And all I can do is oblige. I am watching. The beginning. The end. I am watching.
So if you guys heard, for the editing in this section, so the whole, in case you didn't understand, I mean, you guys understand just not. But the idea is this whole time Professor Broody is fusing Pokemon, and he's using it for his own gain and wanting to prove he can do it. And, no matter their suffering, to them, it's just a game. The irony of what this ending means is he pays for his sins with his mind, right? His greatest tool is his mind. And Darkrai puts him in this never-ending nightmare as punishment for all the harm he's caused Pokemon and the people in the world around him. And him losing his mind, again, is a punishment. But Darkrai kind of essentially absorbs him. And that's where we can become polymer, and this whole end sequence where the only way for Broody Broody doesn't get like a happy ending per se, right? Like his greed catches up to him, and he loses his greatest, again, weapon, his mind, by going crazy, and then he becomes a fusion with Darkrai, who absorbs all these souls, right? So that's what that kind of ending is. And if before you had the water section where Gmax Darkrai is kind of like, inviting Broody into the chaos, this section right here is the opposite, because also, as much as Cthulhu is connected to water, he's connected to stars and the cosmos. So here you can kind of see the design, and this is like Broody kind of like seeing the grand image of this, deity essentially, and succumbing and becoming one with the cosmos. And he just loses his mind in a never-ending nightmare. So it's supposed to be a horrifying ending. Like, he doesn't, he's not the winner, he's not the hero. He's an eternal punishment for his sins, Absolutely Halloween cinema, definitely watching this again. Is an alternate version of Professor Bohdi, absolutely. Yoink, got your nose. And then over here, there's like a cute little moment where I was really happy with the way this ended. Oh, okay. Where essentially, over here, just want to give thanks to you. You've given me confidence. Hell yeah. Yes. And again, please guys, keep in touch. I'll be in the Discord, but the way it ended was so somber and dark, no sound, the credits rolled. I want to add some levity. So that's what this section was, where we got to highlight the Discord community stuff. Really hope to continue. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Yeah, might as well highlight our community. You guys, were every bit a part of this journey, so I decided this was a nice way to put it at the end. Oh, there goes Sketch. We had Zach earlier. But yeah, I guess that's been spooky as well. Glad you explained the ending. Absolutely. That me, it is. But chat, I think we'll call it there. I'll put it right there. Guys, thank you truly for everything. I've been using the word soft retirement because, I could see myself coming back at some point in the future. Would I be making Pokemon content? Maybe, maybe not. I'll even think about like, oh, should I do Legend ZA and just do a gaming thing? And while I could, I kind of want to, if I do come back, have it be for a good reason. Not that gaming isn't, but maybe I want to make gaming just like my hobby and not necessarily a stream, So yeah, again, it's not like this is a goodbye. We're at a reset, right? This previous chapter with the Fakemon focus is just coming to a close as well, right? So I haven't made videos for the channel in a long time anyway. I'll continually share stuff, information on my Instagram or my Discord, or even the community posts as fitting. Take home 27 to go plates. I think I fed you well this time, huh? Misty streams, absolutely. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. On to the next chapter. Cheers to you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out these last 2 hours with me. In fact, these last few years, right? In reality, watch every video, challenge journeys, and starting. I'm all here for it. Thank you guys. And again, don't be like, hey, what the hell? This isn't Pokemon. Why is this man yapping for 5 minutes straight or yelling me to do better? The new direction is going to be different. It might be jarring, but it's going to be me. It's going to be more me than any of the other videos I've made in my channel, right? See Bonny Draw, I was nurturing a lot of other pop culture kind of entities. This era of See Bonny Draw has been nurturing Pokemon and Nintendo and other franchises. These new videos will be a chance for me to be me, record myself, aka the you in YouTube. And I don't mind if people want to unsubscribe and they're like, this isn't what I signed up for, I understand that absolutely. But I will, of course, nurture whoever does want to stay, whoever does join the channel in this new direction of motivation and self-help, because this kind of journey, it's never ending, and in that way, something new is starting now. So I'll be thinking of you guys as I start my master's degree. This is a really cool thing to say out loud. In a couple of weeks, I'll be able to create art that like really feels like me now. I don't want to die and be known as a YouTuber or a PokeTuber. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's just not the way I've ever envisioned my story. So I'll make this a topic that we'll talk about. But in closing, I just want to say, guys, never in your life should you ever settle for what you really truly want. Because what you desire, if you close your eyes and you can feel what you want, you will one day have it. That is just a universal truth. Once you figure out why you want something, don't worry about the how. The universe will bend to it. Your actions will meet you there and take you there. Figure out who it is, the version of you that has it all, and start thinking in that person's shoes. Would they do this and get me closer to my dreams? Bridge the gap between yourself and your higher self. The results are staggering, and I promise you'll get to that dream faster than you ever imagined. You're allowed to waver. That's part of being human. But just do, as I said earlier, just do the thing, okay? Virtual group hug. I'm hugging all you guys. Mwah! Love you all so much. Thank you so much. I probably won't be going by Professor Bohdi for a while. Maybe we'll throw some Easter eggs and stuff out there. But for the one last time, I've been Professor Bohdi, aka Bonny John, aka Deva Boy. The Deva Boy strong. I whiffed the outro. The Deva Boy brand will always be forever strong. Deva Boy is the brand. Look forward to all that stuff in the future. Have a wonderful day, you guys. I love you guys so much.